When it comes to major cultural and artistic events, I tend to run about 5 to 10 years behind the rest of the country. That's about right for me. Call it my comfort zone. You'll never find me on the cutting edge. As far as I'm concerned, the cutting edge is where they slice bologna. In the great parade of civilization, I'm the one with the broom and bucket behind the horses and elephants. So I was right on track when I watched a DVD of The Artist a while ago. I'm pretty sure it won an Oscar for the Best Picture of the Year a few years ago. And it was a terrific movie, unexpected and yet familiar, filled with care and fantastic attention to detail, many signs that said, pay close attention and you will be rewarded. And that's not to mention the dog. What a sweet little show. It quietly held its own among the booms and bombast of Hollywood. It never lost its way, constantly propelled by the confident, powerful engine of a wonderful idea, inherent in its very nature, the passing of one era, the beginning of another, the eloquence of silence, the novelty of sounds, the great star about to become a forgotten relic, the unknown ingenue about to skyrocket to fame. And the dog. The movie is clearly the product of a careful, loving study of silent films. The structure, the grammar of those movies, the way of telling the story, visually, the brilliant editing, the astonishing set pieces, they are all in it, along with a fantastic dog. Shortly after watching that movie, I dialed up another on the internet. Out of the many I could have chosen, an old favorite, Safety Last, starring Harold Lloyd. Just one more floor until I can ditch this cop. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was short and packed with humor, cleverness, timing, romance, sentiment, crucial misunderstanding, startling invention, hair-raising stunts, and the clear message that publicity is the way to success, just as in The Artist. You want to succeed? Then draw a crowd. How do you draw a crowd? Tell everyone that a mystery man is going to climb this building. What could be more obvious? What I'd like to encourage people to do is not overlook silent movies. Check them out. Don't blow them off as lame antiquities. I don't want to see a silent movie. I don't want to watch a movie with subtitles. You mean the whole thing is in black and white? Silent movies are not the great cinema in its infancy, incoherent because unable to speak, drab due to the lack of color. The best of them are worth your precious time. They were made by inspired actors and directors who took a severe restriction and turned it into an art form. Of course, the big names stand out. Chaplin, Keaton, Harold Lloyd, even the Max Sennett Keystone Cops, Douglas Fairbanks and Errol Flynn too. Comedy and swashbuckling adventures work the best for me, I think. The melodramatic stuff can get pretty hokey. Silent movies are a most unusual art form. Like an animal species that flourished, was thriving for a very short time, and then suddenly became extinct, got wiped out. All I'm saying is, don't overlook them. They have their treasures. And if someone wants to make another silent comedy, if they can come up with a fine idea to drive it to the people who... If they can come up with a fine idea to drive it, as the people who made The Artist did, then I say go for it. You'd be working in an odd, arbitrarily narrow form, but I know it can be done. Maybe you have a troupe of acrobatic mimes who are planning a bank robbery, because the banks took everything from them. Or you have a school for the deaf and dumb. The story is told from their point of view, so it's asylum. And they have a team. Let's say it's a volleyball team, co-ed because there weren't enough boys to fill the roster. And despite this, they're good. They're very good. They're quick and tough, and one of their strengths is their ability to communicate. Their coach thinks they're good enough to compete in a state high school tournament, which they've never done, and he files suit to get them in. And the State Athletic Association says, sure, you can enter if you want, Division I, men's volleyball. Something like that. And if you can throw in a dog, all the better.